48 green days in a row, my friends. And in today's video, I'm going to break down my exact strategy that led to another profitable day trading futures in the stock market.
Baby, 4,600, 3,000, 268, 360, 1,300 for niche core, 300, 268, 500, 200, 730, 500, 800. Let's go!
What's going on, money team? It's your boy Jay Dunn Trades with Team Bull Trading, and I hope you all had a discipline-filled trading day. We are live and back in action with another valuable video where you're going to learn something, become a little more confident, and a little more disciplined in your system. Now, that being said, all I ask for is you tap in, hit that subscribe button, and if you're looking to learn this strategy in depth, along with the rest of my system, I'm hosting a free workshop this coming Monday, I believe Monday the 12th, at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. All you have to do is tap in and join the waitlist below. You'll learn my entire system and get some trading psychology and discipline gems that you can't keep trading without. So that being said, join that waitlist after this video, hit that subscribe button, and let's get it. So today, it was a crazy day, to say the least. We did some eval trading later in the day for full transparency. We traded 7 evals, of which we passed 2, so 2 became funded in one day. The other 5 I failed. Wanted to put that out there for full transparency. If you were trading live with me, if you were on my live stream, which I do every single day, we did fail 5, but we passed 2, and I'd say that's a pretty good trade-off. If for every 7 evals you trade, you can pass 2, blow 5, that's a great ROI on your funded account status. So being said, that's how we treat evals. We trade them properly. We trade them with discipline. We just trade them a little bit more aggressively, and sometimes that ends up with blown accounts, especially with firms like Apex or Tradeify. Now, Tradeify is a little bit more leeway, you could say. They don't have that trailing drawdown, but of prop firms that I promote, those are my 2 favorite. You just have to be really careful with your trailing drawdown in Apex. Otherwise, it'll get you if you don't take your profits on the way up. So that being said, passed 2, failed 5. So now that we have that out of the way, on my fundeds and on my personal account this morning, my live account, I made over $1,200, which, mind you, I've been making $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a day now for the past 5 or so years, and I've been trading for 9 years. I look for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5K a day. If I can make 10K a week trading, that's cool with me. And so I try to keep it realistic. I'm not going to, shoot you a bunch of BS of come make 10K a day, 20K a day. That's not realistic for most people. But if you can make an extra 1,000, 2,000 a day, that's life-changing money for a lot of people in an hour or 2 every single day. So for today's strategy, what do we do with the first 15 minutes? We don't trade. We always wait the first 15 minutes. That is a huge pillar of mine. I almost never trade within the first 15-minute candles. Now you'll see I have the 5-minute chart up. I'm always going to mark the low of the 15-minute period on the 5-minute. I'm always going to mark the low of the first 15 minutes from the 5-minute wick here. So that was right here. And I'm always going to mark the high as well, which was right here. Now, after we establish our opening range, breakout range, I'm going to look for a 5-minute close above this area or below, because oftentimes once you have that next 5-minute candle close above or below, you'll set the trend for the next 20, 30, 40, 50, or hopefully 100 plus points. So today you'll see we climb up, no trades in here. We close this candle above, and I don't immediately buy. What I like to see personally on this strategy is we come up, have a little move down, a wick up where I can define my risk under, and then we take the trade. So in this particular candle, we get the close here, we move down, 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 and on this move back up, right around this 40 area, we close this candle up here. On the second wick back down, I add at 35 to 40, depending on your fill. We add here. I have about 20 points of risk on this with hard stops. I put hard stops in around 9-10 just in case to start. We have some Trump candle that nukes. I want my downside exposure to be limited. So I put a hard stop in below this 5-minute candle, though if I go down 20 or so points, I'm going to automatic stop. It was in that range, give or take. It was already entry 35 to 40, stop at 15, 30 points there. I got filled a little closer to the 40, so I was willing to stop if the trade was not working out, but I had hard stops in just in case. Now, you can see we add down here. We have a little drawdown down to 29 or so, give or take, 10 points of drawdown. And then we end up exploding on this for over a 30-point trade to the upside. And mind you, I end up selling the rest of my position right at 70. So I timed the near tippy top on this because I'm only going for a solid 1.5, 2R on this trade. I only had 10 points of drawdown, which means technically speaking in drawdown terms, I got 3R on this. Now my overall risk was around 20. So 30 points profit, 20 points risk, 1.5 R. Not the best risk reward trade, but again, this strategy pays me nearly every day. Now, we also did have FOMC today, so I was a little more hesitant, but you can see it worked out again down here. We come aggressively move down below this 15-minute range. We pop back up close to it. You could have arguably taken a short right here off this wick low here, just half size, added full size into this, but we get that retest back up, continue on down. We get that move above the 15-minute range, close above, one retest back down, another solid, 40, 50 point move to the upside. Again, we move back down, right? We come back up right here. Depending on your entry, you may have gotten stopped if you tried the retest back down. I would have waited for this candle to close, move back down. This likely sweeps you out, but nonetheless, you see the trend works here again, and then we stop respecting it so much. We have one nice test here too, but we stop respecting it around here. The point being of this whole strategy, it's not just simply buy calls or puts or longs or shorts when we touch this line, but it's when you learn to read price action. When you learn how to read price in accordance with volume and to use the 15-minute highs and lows for valuable ranges, for valuable confluence, your trading becomes a lot better. So in my next webinar, I'm going to break down live, step-by-step, what I look for, the do's and don'ts, and everything in between of this particular strategy. And hopefully, as soon as the webinar is over, you can start implementing what I teach you by the next day. Now, I will tell you this. It all boils down to discipline. It all boils down to system, and it all boils down to confidence in your setups. You don't have to make things complicated like a lot of the ICT guys do. I trade some ICT concepts in my own words. I trade areas of confluence. I trade breaks of structure. I use liquidity. I do all those things, but I don't make it super complicated. That's why anyone who learns from me, as of now in my 9 years, they're typically really happy and they typically start making money shortly after. I'm not saying it's get rich quick. It's not. I'm not saying it's get rich easy. It's not. But when you keep it simple, you build confidence, you build discipline, you manage risk first and take profit later, that's the system that gets you making consistent money. That's how you get payouts. That's how I got a payout on my first ever try with a prop firm, and I'm planning on getting a lot more. So trade smart, trade safe, stay on the mission, and make sure you guys tap and hit that subscribe button and join the wait list for my upcoming class this Monday. I'll see you guys in there. God bless.